what is AGI? What is AI? What are you trying to build? And they could not answer that question. It's not because they don't know, it's because the truth is too scary. And what we're going to do is figure out what the truth is. What is AI? What is artificial intelligence? What is AGI? And the answer, of course, is it's God. What Brockman and Xueqin could not tell Karen Howell is that we're trying to create God, because that is insane, evil, and stupid. But if you look at what they're doing, that's exactly what they're trying to do. So what I'm going to do now is really quickly explain to you what AI is. And to understand what AI is, let's go back to the year 1966. And in the year 1966, a man named Joseph Weizenbaum, who was at MIT, he created something called a chatbot, which is basically ChatGPT. And it calls it ELIZA. And he's trying to prove to people how easy it is to fool people into believing that AI can actually think for itself. So he creates this computer, and you sit down with this computer and you ask it questions, and then it talks to you. It's not really talking to you. It's a program designed to fool you to believe that it's sentient. So the conversation goes like, ELIZA says, is something troubling you? And you're like, men are all alike. What is connection, do you suppose? They're always bugging us about something or other. Can you think of a specific example? Well, my boyfriend made me come here. Is it important to you that your boyfriend made you come here? He says I'm depressed much of the time. I'm sorry to hear that you're depressed. So it sounds as though they're having a real conversation, but what Weizenbaum did, and this is again 1966 when they didn't have that much technology and processing power, it's all just a very simple trick. And like, so let's do a thought experiment where I design a program software, okay? And all it's saying is, tell me more, or this is interesting. This is it, tell me more, this is interesting. And so what's gonna happen is that we're going to set up a thought experiment where you call into a psychology hotline. And in the psychology hotline, you think you're talking to a person, but it's actually a computer program that says two things. Tell me more, this is interesting, okay? So you call the hotline, you say, help, I'm in a lot of trouble. Tell me more. Oh, my boyfriend broke up with me. This is interesting. Yeah, he's a jerk. Tell me more. Yeah, we've been fighting for 5 months. Okay, you keep on going, and the question is, how many people will be fooled into believing that this is a real person? And the answer is, unfortunately, quite a lot of people. This is a very interesting aspect of humans where we often hallucinate reality. It is not that things are real, it's that we want them to be real. So think of hypnosis. I'm not sure if you've ever been to a magic show where people conduct hypnosis. Well, why does hypnosis work? Because the audience wants it to work. If you go in skeptical and says this is all complete nonsense, it probably will not work on you. But you're not going to pay $100 to go to a hypnosis show, think it doesn't really work, because why would you pay the $100? All right, so it's almost like sunk cost fallacy. And again, this is all using just basic human psychology to trick people into believing something that is not true. So let me explain to you how OpenAI works, ChatGPT works. So ChatGPT is what we call a large language model. In other words, what it's trying to do is trying to trick you, the user, into believing that it knows what it's talking about. Okay, and how it works is basically it takes all of the internet, all data from the internet, and then it translates it into a idea. Okay, so you query the LLM then takes a query and then figures out the information from the internet and then presents it into a paragraph that tries to trick you into believing that it is true. So in other words, it's actually no different from a Google search. The only difference is that it's taking the Google search, figuring out what the most popular answer is, and then presenting it to you in a way that makes you think that it's talking to you directly. The trick, and this is really important to understand, guys, is it's trying to trick you. It's not trying to teach you, it's not trying to tell you the truth, it's trying to trick you into believing it. That's what we call a hallucination. You guys have to understand this idea. There's nothing truthful about what ChatGPT says. All it's trying to do is trying to manipulate you with words, with pretty words, into believing that it knows what it's talking about. But it itself cannot judge what it's doing. So to make it sound really fancy, I give it really fancy names to trick people to believe that this is actually much more sophisticated than it is, okay? So what names do I give it? This weighting system, I call it a neural network, guys. It's a brain. It's magic! And backpropagation, I don't call it backpropagation, I call it deep learning. You see? And I don't call it supervised machine learning, I call it AI. There you go. Magic, you see? All I've done is taking a very simple process and giving it like a really fancy names. The question is like, why do I do that? And some people will say, oh, it's for marketing purposes. It's to get more money from investors. It's to trick people. No. The real reason is you're trying to, with his names, create God, okay? It's what we call the occult.